Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining T4K's Clip Out Cancer. I hope you were able to see our 24-hour relay that's been going on since Friday. That was such a success and so much fun to kick off this summer alternative ride. But we're going to start, as we start every Texas 4000 event, with some ride dedications. And in case you don't know what they are, we will show this video on what ride dedications mean to our organization and how to make one.
Texas 4000 is the largest annual charity bike ride that takes place every summer from Austin to Anchorage, Alaska, with the purpose of spreading our mission of hope, knowledge, and charity in the fight against cancer. A ride dedication is a way that we start a lot of our meetings or a lot of our rides. This is when we dedicate a ride or a part of our ride to somebody who has been in some way affected by cancer.
A ride dedication is motivation to me because when I'm going up a steep hill or it's been a really long ride, the ride dedications that I hear from my teammates and myself are the reasons that I keep riding.
Due to the current circumstances surrounding COVID-19, it's no longer safe for us to do our typical bicycle ride from Austin, Texas to Anchorage, Alaska. So instead, we've decided to do things virtually this summer.
So we will be having our cycling events virtually. We will be engaging with our community virtually.
A virtual ride dedication works largely the same way as a normal ride dedication. Before every meeting or before every virtual ride, you would say, I ride for this person. And if you want to, you can go into a little bit more detail about how that person touched your life.
You can submit your ride dedications via 3 different platforms. You can submit a ride dedication via the Texas 4000 webpage. You can join our Facebook live stream, or you can join our Zoom calls.
The virtual ride will be going on from May 29th to June 26th, and ride deds will be held before host interactions in the afternoon and at 7:30 to 8 a.m. Central Time every morning.
Thank you so much for participating.
Join us at texas4000.org. Together we can make a difference.
So we will be taking ride dedications. If you have one, you can comment on the Facebook post and we will be reading them off.
Alex, do you want to start with the ride dedication?
Sure, I can kick us off. I ride for my mom and for Miss Kathy. My mom suffered from glioblastoma and passed away when I was very young. And I actually will be pursuing a career in medicine to study brain cancers and hopefully kind of full circle learn more about them and learn how to fight them without affecting our bodies. And I also ride for Miss Kathy, who suffered from ovarian cancer, had a long battle, and eventually lost her fight.
Thanks, Alex. And thanks, Hannah. We will ride for your cousin Grant as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Grayson.
Thanks, Grayson. We're all riding for Papa Vince.
Yes, riding for Sharon's my mother, so riding for my little sister, her daughter, Carly Ray, who passed away from neuroblastoma at a very young age. So always riding for my sister.
Riding for Grandma Sandy from Andrea. We are riding for her.
Thank you, Camille. We'll ride for Jeff and for your Aunt Meg.
Thanks, Camille.
Thank you, Rain, for your ride dedication.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. We'll ride for her.
We'll be riding for Margie and Jim
Mm-hmm.
from our 2021 team. Super excited they were able to join us today.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lindsay. We'll be riding for Megan and Father Dave.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you. We'll be riding for Jeff and for Jim.
Of course, Caroline, we will.
Oh, that's amazing, Dom. We'll be riding for her.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome news.
Thank you. Definitely riding for caregivers and caretakers as well.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Catherine? For me, Mom.
Oh,
awesome.
Oh, awesome, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki.
That's so exciting.
Your sister's so brave.
I know. Yes, she is.
Awesome family.
We're always riding for her.
Always. These are great ride dads, y'all. Keep them coming. Just comment on the live stream, and we'll show up on the screen here.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready for them both, Gabriella.
Thank you. Thanks, Ray. We'll ride for Mark.
Always riding for supporters.
Yes.
Yes, riding for Jody Hopkins. Love her.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. That is a lot of strength. Thanks, Katie. Definitely be riding for her.
Thanks, Christina. Riding for Aunt Alex.
Thank you, Eliza.
We'll be riding for them, Elisa.
Thanks, Mom. Be riding for them. I always am.
Thanks for
Thank you,
sharing,
Malika. Riding for her.
Thanks, Ross. We'll ride for her.
Thank you, Clara. Yes.
Yes, always riding.
We'll talk about Lizzie again soon. Great person.
All right, well, those were absolutely amazing ride dads, and we will have so many more opportunities to share anybody who you ride for throughout the rest of the summer. So thank you for that. So just a little introduction of us, who we are. I'm Delisa. I'm on 2020 on the Sierra route, and I'm super excited to be here and moderate Clip Out Cancer.
And I'm Alex. I'm on the Ozarks team, and I am the programs chair. Really excited to be here and to get to talk to you guys about our mission and what we're doing this summer to both protect the cancer community and still serve them.
And I'm Tony Edgington. I am on the Rockies route, and I am the volunteer chair for the Texas 4000 2020 team. So I've had the privilege of organizing all the volunteer efforts that we've had over the past year and a half. And we're still making efforts through this virtual ride. So I'm excited to share how we're impacting our community and how you can help.
Yes. Oh, we still have ride dads coming in. Yay, continue sending them. We'll have them pop up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So our agenda for today, we will have some guest speakers from our founder, Chris Condit, and our executive director, Scott Cruz. We're going to show a program of what we would be doing in the summer and on the Rockies routes, and that program to spread one of our pillars, knowledge. And so we will be showing that to you today, just to kind of see what we're still doing to help impact cancer communities across the nation, even if we're not able to do that in person. And we will have a presentation on Be the Match, an organization that we've worked really closely with over the past year and a half. And we'll have a quick interview with Tony, who's our Be the Match expert on this team. And then we're going to end it with the thing that I think I'm probably most excited about, and to see my team and their bravery in this. We're going to have a few of our team members shave their heads to stand in solidarity with those fighting cancer, especially during this time. So stay tuned with us. But yeah, our first speaker is our founder, Chris Condit.
Hey, Texas 4000 2020 team. It has been a real treat. Hey, Texas 4000 2020 team. It has been a real treat to witness the beginning of the Texas 4000 virtual summer ride. You guys are awesome. I have been so amazed to see not only the incredible preparation that you've done, the money that you've raised, the volunteering that you've done, but seeing the first few hours of our virtual summer ride has just been awesome. I think that you are starting a new chapter in Texas 4000 history for us. I think in the future, we're going to see teams be connected and communities across the country, across the world, be connected to our riders through this virtual ride that you're creating. And I am so grateful to you for that. I appreciate the effort that you've put forth so far, the effort that you're going to put forth this summer, and I wish you all the best. We love Texas 4000 2020 team. Appreciate you guys. Keep riding. Keep fighting cancer. Thanks.
Thanks for those lovely words, Chris. It means a lot. It's kind of incredible that, so many years ago you were able to put this together, and that it's still going strong, and it will continue to go strong for many, many years in the future. So thank you. But our next guest speaker is from Executive Director Scott Cruz, and he's just going to say a few words.
Hey, Delisa, Alex, Tony, how are you doing?
Good.
It's good to see all of you. Thanks for kicking things off today for Clip Out Cancer. After 24 hours of cycling by you and your teammates, what an amazing start to this summer ride journey that you're taking virtual for the first time as our 17th team. And I think the words that I wanted to share today just with the audience about all of you is just how amazingly resilient you are. I mean, almost 2 years put into this organization. It's a tremendous commitment that you all are giving to the fight against cancer and to each other as teammates and to the larger cancer community. And given the current situation that we are all in, I just applaud you. And I think it speaks volumes to the young leaders that you are, that you took on this challenge. And even with, I know, the heartbreak of not being able to ride physically cross country from Austin to Anchorage, Alaska, that you still are focused on our mission of fighting cancer and touching people's lives, bringing hope, bringing knowledge, bringing charity to them. Your dedication to our mission just fills my heart with joy. It is to see all of these people online to watch this broadcast, something we've never done, as Chris said before, being able to not just reach communities across 3 routes, but to reach communities across all of North America, across the world. As I know, we have writers, not just from the US, but from all other places, and we're able to share with them and their families and the people that have donated, the thousands upon thousands of people who have contributed to your fundraising. And so I just applaud you, say thank you for continuing on a mission, and I wish you the best of luck for the next 4 weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you so much.
I think it's really great that we're able to do so much, even though we're not on the biking to communities. It's unreal almost that we're able to like reach just as many people as we would on the road and still have as much of an impact and you know, as much of an impact into hospitals and cancer support services that we would normally be doing. So it truly is incredible. But yeah, so we are going to head to a Be the Match presentation with Tony, Alex, and Claire, who will join a live stream right now. And hi, Claire.
Hi, everyone. Thanks
Hey,
for
Claire.
But Alex, Tony, and Claire have done so much in promoting Be the Match, and they'll talk a little bit more about what Be the Match is and how we work with them. But they've done so much work in promoting it to other Texas 4000 teams like 2021, bringing on coordinators, setting up events, and so much more in helping promote their organization. So take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Delisa, for that. We're very, very excited to get to talk to you guys today about Be the Match, which is an organization that is very near and dear to our hearts as an organization and as individuals. So just to kind of, again, I'm Alex. I work on programming for Texas 4000. I was meant to be on Ozarks, but now we're all just kind of one big team. I'm really excited to talk about this. Tony, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Tony Edgington, like I said earlier, and I am the volunteer chair for the 2020 team. So we have partnered with Be the Match in previous years, and so this year we've really tried to step up the events that we've done with them and you know, furthering our reach. So this organization means a lot to me and our team.
Yeah, I'm Claire. I'm a 2020 rider as well, and I'm also on the programs team with Alex.
So a little bit about Be the Match. You may have not heard of them yet. You will today. They are an organization that creates a bone marrow registry. And why this is really important is that it kind of increases your ability to get a match or someone who you're likely to not reject a bone marrow transplant. And so this is amazing. It's incredible for people who have blood cancers because it's very hard to find a match, and this can essentially be curative for people with with blood cancers. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like and what donation looks like to kind of dissuade any fears and myths around it. But it's an incredible organization. It makes finding a bone marrow donor incredibly easy. It makes it faster, and that is complicated by many factors, but it makes it safe, and it allows us to really affect a cancer patient's life, which is really kind of incredible. It's not something you get to do normally, which is It's amazing. Yes. Yeah. And so now Claire will talk a little bit about her experience with Be the Match.
Yeah. So are we switching the slide? Well, okay. I'm here to talk about Hayden. Yeah, so this is my friend Hayden Roberts, and he is one of the reasons why I originally applied for and joined Texas 4000. So in 2011, during his freshman year, at the very beginning of his freshman year in college at Ohio University, Hayden was feeling sick. He felt like he had cold-like symptoms and went into the doctor's office. But 2 days later, instead of being diagnosed with the flu, he was told that he had acute myeloid leukemia, and that without a bone marrow transplant, he would only have a few months to live. And luckily for him, that following spring in 2012, he did find a match on the registry, and he was able to get the surgery successfully, which ultimately prolonged his life for 5 years. And in that time, Hayden spent, all of his efforts working with working with organizations like Be the Match to advocate for the registry and to get people to swab and join so that other cancer patients like him would have, hopefully have higher chances of finding a match. He ultimately did pass away in 2016, but without that surgery and finding the match, his life would have been probably less, he would have lasted about a year without that. So it definitely was something that prolonged his life, and he spent all of his energy advocating for it while he continued his battle. And so we wanted to talk about Hayden's story because, of course, it's a success. But then we want to also talk about how, for many others, it's not as easy to find a match on the registry.
Yeah, so like Claire said, it's not easy for everyone to find a match on the registry like Hayden. And so a story that kind of exemplifies that is Lizzie. Clara gave a ride dedication a few minutes ago, popped up on the screen for Lizzie and Be the Match. Lizzie Tennyson, she battled cancer 6 times since she was first diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia at the age of 13. Lizzie sadly passed away in March at the age of 22, battling it a 6th time. She had been admitted to the computer engineering program here at UT and was set to start in the fall of 2019. But just a few days before classes began, she relapsed for the 5th time, and so that's when she fought. And so she was fighting all year, and she was on the International Bone Marrow Registry since she was 16 years old, and she had never found a match. And that's because a large part of that is because she's biracial, which means she has a very low percentage of finding a match on the marrow registry. To be exact, about 14%. So here's a video from Brenda Garza. She's a community engagement representative for Be the Match and GenCure, which is a laboratory that helps collect the swabs. And so take a listen.
Last October, I received a text message saying, "Hi, Brenda, this is Lizzie." And I was so excited because for almost a month, I was waiting for that call. Lizzie, a UT student, was diagnosed with leukemia, and she needed to find a donor. I knew helping Lizzie would be a challenge because biracial or mixed race cancer patients have a very low chances of finding a donor in the registry. We couldn't wait, and the first event we did together, it was in her high school, where we recruited the teachers and students over 18, and we added them to the registry. Then, with the help of Dale Children's Hospital, where she was having treatment, and the UT students, we were able to do more events, and within 3 months, we added close to 500 new members to the registry. By December, Lizzie started to feel sick, and she was back to the hospital. We never stopped texting. We always talk over the phone, too. She spent Christmas and New Year's Eve there. But then by March, she started to feel better, and she asked the doctors if she could be back home and be with her dogs. She was feeling homesick. About 2 weeks ago, Lizzie went to sleep on March 30th on a Sunday, but she didn't wake up in the morning. Lizzie peacefully passed away in her house with her dogs. Lizzie had big dreams, and one of those dreams was to donate the Bella Bears to the Dell Children's Hospital where she was having treatment. Our goal was 500. We were able to do some events before the pandemic, and we collected close to 75.
So what Brenda was saying there is that they had some plans to collect more swabs for the bone marrow registry, but unfortunately, due to the pandemic, a lot of those events got canceled. And so that's why we are promoting the Couch to Cure campaign, hashtag Couch to Cure. It's a campaign that Be the Match is hosting virtually to get people to register for the bone marrow registry. And so we'll talk about how to sign up here in a few minutes.
Right. So, like we were saying, while Hayden was able to find a match fairly quickly, luckily, because she was biracial, Lizzie had been waiting for 9 years, endured 6 rounds of chemotherapy, and finally lost her battle at the age of 22. And this disparity is largely due to the lack of representation of particular ethnic backgrounds or genetic ancestries on that registry. And this is due to like less than 0.1% difference in our DNA. People of different genetic ancestry or different ethnic backgrounds cannot donate to people of different ethnicities because of that higher chance of host rejection. And so because she's biracial, Lizzie only had a 15% chance of finding her match, while Hayden had, and I would have a 77% chance of finding a bone marrow match. Part of the reason I joined, and I know a lot of my teammates joined Texas 4000, is because we have this platform as writers to impact the lives of those who have been affected by cancer by spreading hope through awareness and research, education on prevention and screening, and providing these support services. And I ride for those who are disproportionately bearing this burden of cancer as a result of these structural inequities. And I believe that ethnicity should never be or never determine one's outcome in the fight against cancer. And it's our responsibility to make this a part of our mission. And what's amazing about Be the Match is that this is something that we can tangibly affect. I can register and I can ask others to register, and that can affect the lives of people, and that can start to make these inequities become less. And that's incredible. And Tony and Claire and I are privileged to advocate for this cause in many ways. But it's important for us to use this place of privilege to empower those facing these structural inequities. And so that's why we're using this platform to talk about it. And we hope that you feel compelled to talk about this with your friends and to kind of expand this mission and register for the bone marrow registry. Next slide.
Yeah, so what Texas 4000 is doing to recruit new members on the registry and register them, we work with other UT organizations on campus that also support Be the Match. And we co-host events and on campus to get students and people in the UT community signed up on the registry. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, some of our plans for our team in the spring, unfortunately, were canceled. But we've set new goals to work with diverse and health-oriented student organizations to support Be the Match and register new people. And we curated programs about bone marrow registry disparity, similar to this one, for the virtual ride and for following teams like 2021. And so what we want to do is harness our large volunteering force and the ability to access communities across the continent to make a real impact on these disparities and provide cures for the over 1 million people living in remission from blood cancers in the U.S. And so, we'll continue our effort despite the pandemic.
Right. And so I don't know about you, but I definitely, when I heard bone marrow transplant or bone marrow donation, I thought of like medical shows where they stick this long needle in your thigh or your pelvis, and it's super painful and you're awake for all of it. That's not at all how it works, which is good because that would be inhumane. It's actually much simpler than that, much less painful. And quite honestly, more frequently, like the most common form of donation is very similar to donating plasma. And so only 1 in 430 people who are on this registry actually do match with someone. So you only have 1 in 430 chance that you'll be able to donate. And if you are matched and you agree to donate, then it only takes 20 to 30 hours over the course of 4 to 6 weeks, which is fairly manageable for most people. And you will never pay anything for the medical costs. It is all covered by Being the Match, which is why they're so amazing to allow this to happen for our cancer patients and to allow this to happen for a lot of people who cannot afford that necessarily. And so the way that the donation works is a few injections to kind of cause those the marrow to start spitting out those stem cells into your bloodstream, and then you just sit for a few hours. And the machine looks a lot like plasma donation, and it'll kind of filter out those stem cells and put the rest of your blood back in. Yeah, so it's not as scary as it sounds. It's really not too painful, and really it's only a few hours out of your day. And if you could, it's offering a cure to someone, and so it is such a low cost for us as individuals to be able to do this for someone, even to give them 5 years of life. That is so meaningful. And so I really encourage that you guys register. We're trying to make that happen during the pandemic, provide a positive and help protect those who are immunocompromised and those who are suffering from cancer. And so if you would like to register, if you feel inspired to register, if you'd like to invite your friends and family to register, you can do so here. Tony, would you like to describe?
Yes, thanks, Alex. So yeah, now is the time to do the action, sign up for the bone marrow registry. And what you can do here is you can text, as you see on the screen, you can text T4K in all caps to 61474, or you can take your smartphone up to the screen with that QR code and scan it with your camera app or QR code app and open it. And when you open it, you can see here, you'll have a screen at of the home Be the Match screen, and you can click on the blue button here that says Join the Registry. And then you'll get a screen here that says Join the Registry, and you can put in your first name, last name, and email address. And then what you'll do is you'll actually click the second option that says, I am not at a Be the Match event, and I will need a cheek swab kit mailed. So unfortunately, we can't do any in-person events where we swab them for you. We'll have to do them by mail to adhere with social distancing. But once you fill that out, it will take about eight or so minutes to fill out the questionnaire. So healthy bone marrow registrants tend to be between ages 18 and 45, so that's, or 44. So that's what they prefer, and with no large or no large health concerns. And so once you finish that out, you'll confirm at the end, and there will be a place where you need to, you'll get this in the mail, and it's a business reply mail from Be the Match, and it will come in this envelope, and you'll have this swabbing kit right here that says Be the One to Save a Life. And so there's a QR code on it, and the swabs will be on the inside here. And you will take each swab, and you will swab each cheek for about 10 seconds. And you will place them in here like the graphic shows, stick them on there on the sticky thing, and just close it like that. And you'll put it back in the business reply mail that's pre-stamped. And you'll also get instructions for all this on the email. So you'll be able to connect your registry online to your actual swabs, and you'll send them back in the mail. So yeah. And once you send it back in the mail, you'll get a confirmation email and maybe even a text as well. And what you want to do is just click that confirmation email and text to confirm that you want your name added to the registry. And then you'll be committed to save a life, hopefully. So just make sure you keep your contact information up to date and say yes if you get called to donate. Thanks.
Thanks, y'all. That was such an informative, great presentation. I think it's really special that working with Be the Match even now, you know, with COVID happening around the nation, like you can still make an impact by doing this even now. And I think that's really something. It's really incredible. So to get a sense of what Texas 4000 has done with Be the Match, even our team 2020, I have a couple of questions for y'all. Any of y'all can answer. But yeah, so how has T4K, how have we helped Be the Match to increase the number of registrants to the bone marrow registry?
I can take this one. So we've held several on-campus donor drives. We do this every year, so previous teams have done it. And we've registered our own teams. So pretty much everyone on 2020 and 2021 have been registered on the registry. And we collaborate, like I said, with other UT organizations. We've held social media pushes online to, you know, get it beyond the UT community and get other people outside of our organization signed up. And we've even volunteered at donor drives at Dell Children's Hospital, like the one Brenda showed in her video, which was to help Lizzie find a match. And so we'll continue to hold events like these, and we're, you know, working on new ideas to get even more people signed up.
Cool. And I'm loving the comments. Samuel's comment about how he was a donor in 2007 that showed up on the screen. That's so incredible. So you really can make a difference, and you don't know unless you register. So, so yeah. Okay. So next question: what were some of the most impactful events that, it may be in your opinion, that Texas 4000 has done? And 2020 team, feel free to put your own events that you were most impacted by in the comments, and we'll show them as well.
Can answer that one. So last December, we organized a huge donor drive on UT campus with all of us involved. And we got 102 people registered in one day, which was a record breaker for the organization, which is awesome for us. And it was a really good time. We got to interact with a lot of people, and we were really able to advocate for Be the Match and educate people on campus as to like what it is and why it matters. Yeah, it's very, very cool. I think what we want to do in the future is kind of start reaching out to other health organizations and get them involved. So it's not just us working on it on campus. So it can be a lot of like a ball rolling down a hill, you know?
For sure. That's so great. Okay, one more question. Let's see. I have a whole list here. So what impact, I know you said like the statistic about the huge donor drive, how you made that record-breaking new number of registrants for our team, but what impact have we had? How many registrants have we registered over the past couple of years?
Yeah, so I can speak on this. In the 2018-2019 school year, the 2019 team registered just over 250 people for the registry using their T4K link. So essentially we can track how many people the Texas 4000 teams register through their direct impact, you know, reaching out to friends, sharing the links and things like that with their custom code. And so, and then during our year, prior to the pandemic, we had registered over 150 people. Wow. Hopefully we can get some more signed up this summer.
That's incredible. Well, I'm so inspired and just like amazed at our team and like what we've been able to do with Be the Match. It's just been really great, and I love our own teammates, Paige and Lindsay's earlier about things that we've done with Be the Match. It was it's a really great thing to have us all come together and like help out this like incredible organization and just spread it around our campus community as well. So yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you all. Thank you, Alex, Tony, Claire. Wonderful presentation. We will be sharing the link and resources to register for the registry on our social media. So stay on the lookout for that.
Yeah, we'll be sharing more info. Thanks to Lisa.
All right. So next, oh, hello, Claire. So as I've said earlier, our 3 pillars in Texas 4000 are hope, knowledge, and charity. And knowledge is a really big one that we focus on, especially during the summer. Each route makes programs geared towards specific communities that they go towards in throughout their route. And we give these presentations in hospitals, in cancer support centers, in host homes, in communities, churches, really anywhere that we can kind of spread our mission and be able to spread resources and essential information for communities and people to be able to have the proper information for how to prevent cancer and just be aware of cancer and what things can lead to it, and what to do if you might have it and things like that. So even though we're not going to be on the road this summer, our programs team, Alex as our chair, and all the wonderful team members on the programs team have been working so diligently to create these videos that we will be showing throughout the summer and throughout the alternative ride, to be able to still make that impact and still give those integral resources to communities, even communities that may be really in need for this information. So to give y'all a little sneak peek of that, we're going to show the Rockies program, and you'll get to see a lot of the Rockies team members and hear a little bit more about why they ride and why programs in the knowledge pillar is really important. So.
Hi, everyone. We are so excited to be speaking today. My name is Katie, and I'm a member of the Texas 4000 2020 team. Now, I'm on the Rockies route. Texas 4000 has 3 different routes, and they go all over the country. So Rockies goes through the Rocky Mountains. It goes through a ton of beautiful national parks and some really, really great camping spots. Now, unfortunately, this summer, we're not going to be able to bike through all those areas, but we're still so excited to engage with you virtually and share with you some of our program's presentations. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we're really, really excited to connect with you guys. I'd like to share a few reasons why I ride. And the first reason is for my grandfather on my mother's side. My mom and dad both immigrated to America from China in order to pursue their higher education. And when I was about one years old, when I was just born in New York, my mom found out that my grandfather had leukemia, that it had progressed a lot. He was in the hospital. There was basically nothing that they could do. And she flew back. She spent some of his last weeks with him. And then she came back to the US and he passed away, unfortunately. And I never met him, but Texas 4000 has really opened up a dialogue for me and my mom to talk about the immense loss that she feels and the lack of support system that she has being over here by herself with just me, my brother, and my dad, none of her other family. She's also told me that one thing that she really regrets is at that time, they didn't tell my grandfather that he had cancer. And this practice was pretty common in China because at that time, Chinese medicine wasn't very advanced. Cancer treatment wasn't very advanced, and it wasn't advanced around the world either. And the Chinese had a bit of a fatalistic viewpoint on this. So instead of thinking how we're going to fight this with when you get diagnosed, it's more of a thought process of, okay, you've been diagnosed with cancer. Now there's not much you can do. You just have to accept your fate and your eventual death. So they didn't tell him. They never told him. He probably figured it out at some point along the line, but he died without ever formally having been diagnosed. And that is really heartbreaking to me. So I definitely do ride for knowledge as one of the pillars in Texas 4000. Not just knowledge about the disease and about different ways to prevent it, but even just knowledge of your diagnosis, which is something that a lot of us take for granted. I also ride for my uncle, who's currently in China, in Shandong, and he's battling lung cancer. It's pretty scary, especially given, the current restrictions and coronavirus sort of travel restrictions and lockdowns that are going on. It's harder for him to go to Beijing and seek treatment. So that's been something that our family has been dealing with. And lastly, of course, I ride for my teammates. I ride for this wonderful organization. These people have taught me so much about hope, about how to be there for someone, about how to share in others' pain and how to lift other people up. And it just means so much to me to have these people, the support system, who really are fighting every day to spread hope and to carry the stories of others. And that means a lot to me. So I ride for my 2020 team, who I love so much. So what I'm going to be talking about is just a general overview of what cancer is. One of Texas 4000's 3 pillars is knowledge, which we hope to share with communities like yours throughout the 70-day journey that we had planned. But before we fight the disease, we want to understand what it is and how it affects us. So essentially, cancer occurs because the cells in your body are always replicating, some more than others for a healthy person. And the process of cell replication is controlled by a bunch of different proteins. However, cancer is essentially uncontrolled cell replication. So a cancerous cell can replicate as much as it wants, and eventually all of these replicated cells can grow into a mass called a tumor. So if this tumor is malignant, it can spread to other parts of your body and grow there. And the problem is that these cancerous cells are going to take up a lot of resources from healthy cells. They can damage healthy tissue, and they can impair normal function. So cancer can be caused by a lot of different factors. There's biological factors, such as inherited genetic defects in your skin type, but there's also preventable lifestyle factors, such as UV radiation exposure, diet, and smoking. So we're going to be talking about those and how we can lower the risk of cancer.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm a 2020 Rockies rider, and today I want to talk to you about cancer treatment. So as we all know, cancer can affect various different parts of the bodies. It can affect people in different ways. And because of that, doctors need a variety of different ways to treat cancer. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the main 4 ways to treat cancer. So the first one, if you have a localized tumor that hasn't left outside of its specific growth spot, usually surgery is the best option. A doctor can go in, surgically remove the tumor, and usually that takes care of the cancerous cells in that area. Usually this is followed with radiation or radiotherapy, and that's essentially when a high dose of radiation is blasted on this tumor area. And the goal of this is to kill the tumor cells, effectively reducing the tumor size. However, if the tumor has gone outside of the primary stages, so it's metastasized throughout the body, usually doctors will choose to use chemotherapy. And this is essentially a low dose toxin that spreads throughout your body and kills as many tumor cells as it can throughout your body. And then the fourth and final and newest addition to cancer treatment is immunotherapy. And this is essentially where doctors can train your immune system to attack cancer cells, which is great because it doesn't require any chemicals, radiation, or any other harsh therapies. It's your own body producing its own fight against its own cancer cells. So this is really exciting. And the goal of most of these therapies is to help the patient into a state of remission, where their symptoms are barely visible or diminished to such a point where it doesn't affect their lives anymore. And although remission isn't necessarily a cure, this is the goal for most of these therapies, since it helps people return to a state of normalcy. And throughout all of cancer therapeutics, we're seeing so many strides throughout the past years. People are making really exciting advances in research, and we're so excited as a team to see that and to share that with you all. And I guess as a team at large, Texas 4000 is always, striving for a world in which cancer is a curable disease. And then until that happens, we're going to be riding for everybody who's battled this disease regardless of the outcome.
Howdy, my name is Race. I'm going to be talking about prevention and how diet and exercise and self-examinations can help us with that. So self-examinations are one of the most useful tools we have in cancer prevention. For testicle and breast cancer, we have 2 self-examinations that can be really useful. So for both of these examinations should take place about once a month, and it's helpful if it's in the morning, like when we're taking a shower. And for a testicular self-examination, you want to be feeling the testicles for any change in consistency, size, or shape, and feeling for any hardened knots or lumps. And for the breast self-examination, just like we do in the testicle examination, you can do this in the morning while you're showering. You want to feel from the entire breast area all the way up to the armpits, and you're feeling for any change in consistency, size, shape. You're feeling for lumps, anything out of the ordinary that might have changed recently. And then also you can raise your arms and check for any change in coloration or texture, like if there are dimples that haven't been there before. For skin malignancies, skin cancer, or melanoma, we're going to be using the A, B, C, D, E's of testing. So the A is going to be for asymmetry. If you're looking at a mole and you draw a line down the middle and it's even on both sides, then it passes that test. The B is for border. So if the border is uneven or if it's not smooth, then that's typically a sign of the possibility of cancer. The C is for color, and so a normal mole might just be a single shade of brown, but skin cancer might have multiple shades, or you might see some redness or purple, in which case you should take note of that. The D is for diameter, and so any mole shouldn't be any bigger than the eraser on a pencil. And then the E is for evolving. So if there are any changes in coloration, elevation, texture, if there are new symptoms that arise like bleeding or itching, then that's something to take notice of. And one important thing to recognize whenever we're using self-examinations are, although these are very useful tools, they're tools that we should only use to prompt ourselves to visit the doctor, because any self-examination isn't necessarily significant of a malignant cancer. And so it's really important that we put into context the information that these self-examinations do provide. And now I want to talk about diet and exercise and how that can contribute to our overall health and in the context of cancer prevention. So healthy eating and engaging in physical activity has been shown to reduce the risk of cancer. And so I want to give you 3 tips on healthy eating that can help us achieve these goals. So the first one is maintaining a healthy weight. This ultimately boils down to calories in and calories out, which means that holding ourselves accountable to the types of foods that we put into our bodies, and also our eating habits. These can have a really big influence on our ability to maintain a healthy weight. The second thing is eating whole foods over processed foods. Whole foods include things like fruits, vegetables, and processed foods include things like lunch meats or other products that typically don't have an expiration date, or you can find it at a gas station. This is really important because the chemicals that can be used in the process of making those processed foods can contribute to certain health risks. And the third thing is we want to be mostly eating our calories, which means that we're mostly drinking water, and we're drinking a lot of it. And this allows us to have a better understanding or a better idea of what calories we're consuming and what nutrients we're getting from our eating habits. And regarding exercise, the American Cancer Society recommends about 150 minutes of moderate exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise spread throughout the week in about at least 3 sessions. And not only does this improve cardiovascular health, but also this can reduce our risk for cancer. And I think that a balance of diet and exercise is really important in maintaining our health, and also looking in the future and preventing cancer or other chronic diseases like heart disease. Thanks.
Among the many risk factors that can increase the risk for cancer, smoking and alcohol addiction are big ones. They could increase the risk of mouth, esophageal, lung, and other cancers. Through my experience in T4K, I realized that one of the pillars that resonated the most with me has been hope. When I was 2 years old, my family moved from France, and my mother had a very hard time integrating to American society. She had no support network and through also a language barrier. And over the years, she developed a drinking problem. My sister and I were too young to realize what was going on when it first happened, but over the years, we realized that she needed our help. Today, my mom is now aware of the issue and she's making steps towards her recovery, and I'm very grateful for everything that she has done up till now. I believe that it was through the strength that we gave her, and especially the belief and the hope that we had in her, that she could have the strength to improve. That is one of the main reasons why I hold T4K so close to my heart, is because of the sharing of our struggles and the hope and the strength that we can give each other. I continue to write for my mother so that she can have a healthy life. I believe that no matter the decisions made, the circumstances, everyone has a right to a cancer-free, healthy life. I write for anybody who is struggling with addiction, and I write for the hope and strength that we can give each other through the sharing of our struggles.
One of the things that Texas 4000 is so excited about is the power of cancer research. We think that cancer research can generate so much hope and knowledge for not only the physicians working on cancer, but also the patients who receive cancer diagnoses. Every year, Texas 4000 funds a great deal of cancer research projects and support services throughout the country. Just here locally in Austin, we funded things like Dell Medical School, UT's Biomedical Engineering Program, and MD Anderson. But we've also provided funding for research institutions and support services throughout the country, especially along the 3 routes that we ride on. And one of the most exciting things about cancer research, especially T4K's involvement in it, is to see the ways that it's already taken root in our community. So UT actually provided the seed funding for Dr. Olivia Eberlin's lab, which developed the mass spectrometry pen right here at UT. So what this pen does is a surgeon can take it in surgery, point it at a patient's tissue, and it'll tell you if it's cancerous or if it's healthy. And this has changed the way in which physicians can treat cancer surgically, because this makes it a lot safer for the patient, because they're not getting their healthy tissue cut, and they're making sure that it's a lot more efficient by just isolating the cancerous tissues and removing those. And this is something that Texas 4000 is so proud to have been a part of. Dr. Eberlin actually won the MacArthur Genius Grant for her work. So this is incredibly exciting work, and it's transforming the ways in which cancer is treated today. Outside of the research that Texas 4000 funds, many of our teammates actually have plans to go into medicine and research, and are really excited about the ways that cancer research can transform the lives of patients everywhere. In my own lab, I work with aptamers, which are small molecules that already exist in your body. They're just small pieces of DNA, but can be chemically modified to bind to anything. So currently right now, there's research being done on how to get these aptamers to deliver drugs just to cancer cells. And this is great because it allows chemo treatments not to affect your entire body. Instead, it brings the chemo directly to the cancer cell, killing that and leaving the healthy cells completely unharmed. And outside of my own lab, these developments are happening all over the country in labs everywhere. And it's so exciting to see the ways in which cancer research is already taking off and how fast it's beginning to develop in just the past couple of years. So, you know, even though we aren't able to ride this summer, engage in the communities we wanted to, we're so excited to get out into the world and continue the fight against cancer, you know, beyond our time in T4K.
Oh my gosh, I had not seen that program. I haven't seen any programs at the Rockies. Rockies are absolutely nailed it. That was, I mean, I have kind of no words. That was so incredible. Yes, Grayson, this program does rock. But yeah, so that's just one of the programs that we've been creating that we will be sharing through countless communities throughout the entire summer across all 3 routes. Like I said earlier, program team members from the other 2 routes, Sierra and Ozarks, also have their own incredible programs that we will be sharing in the upcoming weeks. So super excited for that. But to kind of, we are nearing the end of our event, and we have pretty much one last thing we have to address, which is the Hope Pillar. And the Hope Pillar is a really special thing, because that is kind of what our summer ride revolves around, you know, getting to really personally interact with hosts and hear their stories, share ours, and carry people's stories, you know, physically through the nation all the way up to Anchorage. But today, this summer, since we cannot do that, we are having this event to kind of still stand in solidarity with all of those fighting cancer, all of those who have fought cancer. And that's what today's event is about. So I think, in my opinion, I think since COVID has kind of affected and dissolved so many events and just things across the world, it hasn't really dissolved cancer. It hasn't cured cancer, and it hasn't impacted us. It hasn't dissolved our organization or our dedication to our mission and our dedication to the fight against cancer. We're still going to fight. We're still going to support and contribute as much as we can amidst all of these, amidst all of this that's going on. So I'm super optimistic, and I know my team is super optimistic and excited. And so we are going to, you know, signify our hope pillar by doing this event, Clip Out Cancer. And we have so many brave riders willing to shave their heads or cut their hair and donate to cancer nonprofits to kind of, stand in solidarity with everyone and those fighting. So with that, I will bring out our first shavee, David.
Hi guys.
Hi, David.
Hi. So yeah, I'm one of the Gears or mental health advocacy chairs. I'm here today with my supporter Jack, and we're going to be shaving, or I'm going to be shaving for pediatric cancer. So one of the ways I got involved when I got into Texas 4000 was through volunteering, and shout out to Tony and the volunteer chairs. I got involved with Dell Children's Blood Cancer Center, and through that Dell Survivors Challenge. And what we got to do was pair up with some running buddies, and we would just kind of train alongside these kiddos and some coaches, and we just kind of bond with them, get them in shape, and then at the very end we got to see them just power through and run a 5K, and that's just really inspirational because running's really hard, and at that time 5K was pretty hard for me too. So yeah, really riding and shaving or clipping for pediatric cancer. I also want to ride for my teammates, some of the strongest people that I know, and I'm so proud of each and every one of y'all. And yeah, I can't wait to see everyone on this virtual ride.
Yes.
Okay, so I shall just get started, I guess. I didn't bring a mirror.
I think so. You didn't bring a mirror?
No, so I'm going to be looking at my camera, and we'll see how this goes. And then if I miss a spot, you guys can let me know.
Will do.
Let's go, David.
All right.
Yes.
All right. How should we go? I was thinking straight down the middle, but some people said that's too original. So like side to side.
Front to back,
right,
I guess.
Oh my goodness.
Front to back. Okay.
You're really taking on the challenge doing it solo.
I know.
Wow, look at that. Inverse mohawk, that's what I was going to do.
Have people help us with this? Maybe Jack can help me with this.
Doing it, look at that.
I miss a spot here. Okay.
You need to take a screen capture right now.
Oh.
Is that a blackmail?
Oh, I
Doing it blind.
Hey, you're doing great, David.
It looks great so far.
Solo buzzing.
Oh, I missed this.
Oh my god, make an airbender arrow. Oh no. It's too late, isn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't have much left to work with.
Yeah.
Loving all the support from all of our teammates and supporters.
Need to put some sunscreen on my head.
Yep. It's gonna be a go-to for the next couple of months, I bet. Every time we ride outside.
Really feel that breeze.
All right. Oh no. Okay. All right. On the other side.
Who's next? I think Austin might be up next after this.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's got a lot of hair to cut off.
His hair is tied up and everything, ready to go.
Oh, I should have done ponytail.
Leave a small patch.
I can't tell.
I mean.
Oh, in the back.
Sideburns. You got some.
All right. How many patches am I missing?
Got some around your ears.
Yeah.
Oh no.
There's some like right here for you.
You might want to check in a mirror for the back before you go out anywhere.
Do the double mirror trick.
Yeah.
Oh no. All right. How's it looking, guys?
Pretty good.
It looks good. You're missing
Nice.
a little spot, I think, on the side.
At least now you know you can rock bald.
Yeah. We should all strive to be David.
Yeah. Go for the eyebrows.
He really does.
He froze.
David.
Maybe by the time it unfreezes, he'll be completely done.
Exactly.
A little patchy.
We love
It
you
looks
anyway.
good. It looks good, exactly. Well, that was an incredible start.
Yes.
Even though with the little technical difficulties at the end, it was really great.
It was very impressive during that solo.
Very, very impressive. All right, next up we have Austin, who's going to give his why I ride and commence the shaving.
All right. Hi guys. Yeah. So I'm trying a new hairstyle. I've been growing out my hair for this express purpose since early December of 2018, and I could not be more excited to go through with it and see, all my teammates here supporting me. It's a really cool event. I'm glad that we're doing it. So I ride for 3 people in particular. I ride for both my grandfathers, Gary Lloyd Knight Jr. and David Marvin Turner Jr. And I also ride for my little sister. I ride to keep their memories alive and also to provide hope for others in the face of difficult challenges. And I also ride for my teammates, my 2020 teammates. Both the memories and stories that we shared have been fantastic, and I wouldn't trade the time that I've trained with you guys and volunteered with you guys and just hung out with you guys for anything in the world. I'm so proud of all the things that we've accomplished and all the things that we have yet to accomplish. So without further ado, I'm ready to get rid of this. I have my mom helping me out here. All right. Here we go, guys. What is
Oh my gosh. You're getting your hair too.
Oh my goodness.
Feeling it? Wow. It's like cutting through a rope.
So how long have you grown out your hair for this purpose?
I think I counted and it's 17 months. So yeah, December 2018.
Wow.
Last time my hair was
Really nice wig.
Absolute legend for sure.
There you go, guys. The last time my hair was this short, Texas was back. So
I love your mom's makeshift T4K shirts.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
We love our
That's
support.
so sweet.
Well, I've got my family here too. Oh, man.
Dedication.
Bro, the flowing locks.
It'll be easier to bike now though, so that's
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely.
I feel less drag.
Look at that.
Wow.
That's why I left a lot of time on the back end because I knew it'd be a lot of effort.
Yep.
Thank you to my family helping me through the T4K experience as well as this right now.
It's gonna be a really nice wig though.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna go outside and feel the breeze after this. I don't have a mascot like David though. But okay, 3. This is 3 down.
Wow.
Wow. I think we could make 7 different Barbies with. All right. After this is done, I'm just gonna give it a pass or 2 with the razor and see if. All right. Here we go. That's 4. I'm flashing back to training camp back in November where Ashka braided my hair for the first time.
I remember that.
I ever did anything with my hair, and it's a new experience. All right, I actually lost track. I think this is 5. Right? 5. Okay.
Man.
Yeah. So we're doing avatar arrow, right? We're doing avatar arrow, shading that in.
Gotta do it. It's a look. Yeah, Maul's
Yeah,
right.
for real,
It
Maul.
takes a little drop.
Yeah, shampoo has been so expensive. It's gonna be so nice. All right, 6. One more. It's the top one.
Woo!
Yes.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, it's giving.
Does your
It's
head
giving.
feel lighter, Austin?
Right. Almost there.
The weight on your
There it is.
shoulders.
All right, that's 7. Now.
Wow.
Wow.
There
You never need to shower again. Yes, especially post writing.
All right, here we go.
Oh man.
Let's see how this works. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I couldn't have my cat out here because you'd just be all over the place. Oh my god. All right, so I got this. Woo! Oh, there we go. There we go.
Man.
Oh man, this is hard without a mirror. Let's see what's that.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Oh my gosh. I do have a mirror. Okay. Here we go. Oh my gosh.
Killing it.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna pass through on this guard, and then I'm gonna go a little bit deeper, I guess, later. But
Looks great.
all right. Do you have a shorter guard? Oh my gosh. I don't want to move the camera, but it's a battlefield out here. Let's see.
Your jersey's gonna get a lot more itchy.
Yeah, oh man. You got baby powder at the ready.
It's all over your shoulders.
Woo.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Easy breezy.
Thanks, Chris. Guys, I'm so fuzzy. Oh my gosh, everyone should do this.
Yes. It's a summer move.
A summer mood.
All right. There we go, guys. I think I'll hand the floor to Philip now. Oh man.
You look so great, Austin. Thanks so much.
Thank you guys so much. It's been a great experience.
And thanks to your mom too.
Beautiful head shape.
I know.
Looking great, Austin. Looking good.
Bro.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Next, we have Philip, who is waiting patiently.
Hello.
So far, everyone looks so beautiful.
How's it going?
Really good. Are you excited?
Yeah, I've been needing a haircut. My hair's a little long anyway, so I figured what better time? Well, all right. Should I just go ahead and introduce myself?
Yeah, and go ahead and introduce yourself, give your wire ride, and we'll get started.
All right, perfect. Well, hello everyone. Howdy. How's it going? Happy Saturday. My name is Philip. For the past 8 or so months, I have had the pleasure of serving as the 2020 Sierra Ride Director. And, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and wait. Oh no, where'd the slide go? Oh no, oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. So I'll just go ahead and talk about why I ride. Well, it's kind of funny, like Camp Custom, as you see there, that's, well, whenever someone asks me to talk about what Camp Custom means to me, it's really difficult because for everyone involved, like in Texas 4000, you quickly realize that for any one of the endless words that you can say about how amazing this organization is, that there are endless others that you have yet to think to say. And Camp Custom is a shining example of such an organization. But to give more context, Camp Custom is a nonprofit cut from, I'd say, the same cloth as Texas 4000 in that, similar to T4K, it entails college students and young adults doing all that they can to help improve the lives of those in the cancer community. But whereas Texas 4000 grants out hundreds of thousands of dollars to cancer research and support services, Camp Custom provides a service for an unexpected and yet incredibly overlooked demographic in the cancer community, that being the children of cancer patients. As the name implies, Camp Custom provides a 100% free summer camp and year-long support system for these children, which offers a really tremendous safe space where they can confide and bond with others their age who have gone through a similarly burdensome experience. You know, it should really go without saying, but cancer is an incredibly cumbersome experience as it currently is for everyone involved. But for someone as young as a child to have to see their parent undergo a suffering that's entirely outside of anyone's control it's as defeating an experience as anything in this world, which is why Camp Custom is here. So that until there's a cure, that there'll always be a camp and a support system to help lend a hand and be a shoulder for these children to lean on. So I ride for the campers, the counselors, families, and friends of Camp Custom that I've been so blessed to have crossed paths with. So yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and get started with the data. I've never done this before, but it's quite, whatever. I'll just go ahead and do it. Ooh, it's cold. Oh man. I also did not bring a mirror, so I'm just kind of going with it.
You're doing David's tactic.
Looks good so far. Yes, Yash. Yash is a fellow counselor of Camp Kessin. Oh, jeez. Oh, Sam is also a counselor. Well, yeah. My name is Panda Bear, and Yash's name is Puff, like the magic dragon.
Clara wants to know what's your favorite T4K or Camp Kessim memory?
Mid-shave. All right.
We're interviewing you mid-shave, yes.
Well, Camp Kessim sort of runs like a normal summer camp, except for one day out of the week. And that day is usually on Thursday, which is when we have what's called empowerment. And it's the one time a week when we actually bring up cancer and when we encourage all the campers to give their story, much like what Texas 4000 does over the course of the ride. And that is just the most cathartic night of the week or maybe the year for everyone involved, because it's the time and the place where they feel most safe and when they allow themselves to be most vulnerable. And I mean, the stories are tremendously heartbreaking, but they're also very hopeful that, you know, through services like Camp Kessim or Texas 4000, that, you know, you can still live a happy life despite all the limitations and setbacks that cancer may have.
Wow.
This is also harder than it looks to do without a mirror. I don't know how David did it.
I'm not sure that David fully shaved the back, but it's looking great so far. Oh.
Yes, Summon, Bubbles. Summon, you were a red unit, right? And Grayson, Garsh. Oh, man. Yeah, we have quite a few people on our team who were from Camp Kessim. Wonderful to hear. You know, I think I could finish up the rest on an actual mirror. But yes. Aha!
So amazing. Love your story. I'm so glad you did it, and so glad you're my ride director, you're Sierra's ride director, and you're really just like a joy to have on this team. So thanks.
Love everyone.
Okay, next we have Ray, I believe. And Ray, you can hear me, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So you are going to shave what and why?
I'm going to shave my beard and maybe my mustache if the comment section implores me to do so. Just because that's what we're about in this organization, just doing stuff to show solidarity with cancer fighters, and yeah. So
For sure.
that's my plan.
All right. Let's do it.
Should I go ahead?
Yes, go.
All right. I have a mirror here actually, so should be pretty straightforward. I did some little starter shaves, so I kind of know where to go. So I'm gonna go over it with the razor, then with the electric, and then I've got some shaving cream. I'll go over it with the razor. So let's get started.
I think the comments are saying bye to the stash too.
No, really?
Yeah. Lindsay, Andrea, Clara, and yes.
It's pretty sad because my mustache kind of became a staple of the virtual meetings, or Zoom meetings, I remember everyone would.
Ray, don't leave.
A familiar friend.
Leave the stash. Let it grow.
Let it grow. There's some conflict on this team as to your stash. Yep.
Should I leave it like that?
Yes.
Good stuff, Ray. Good stuff. You're about to look a whole lot younger.
Yeah.
I know how you feel. I know how you feel.
It's just not as epic as like Austin and Philip, shaving their heads. But...
No, you got a little bit of hair up there, Ray. Why don't you just go for it, buddy?
Can we peer pressure you?
Surprise your parents.
I don't think that's a
so
good idea.
useful.
Oh, Philip, you looking like shiny boy over there.
Found a mirror. Awesome.
He's shimmering like a golden boy.
Should the mustache go?
No, sir. The hair should go though.
Not the stash.
Just
Just
hair.
Take off the hair.
Just the stash.
Off with the hair. Off with the hair.
I think I'm gonna take the stash off.
Do it.
But before I do that, quick shout out to our sponsor.
Product placement.
Yeah, this stuff will get you through some tough rides. So I just wanted to
Is that what you're fueled by right now on the shave?
Yeah, that's what I feel right now. That's why I have the confidence to do this. All right, here we go.
All right. Bet your girlfriend's gonna like that you're doing it.
Riding for
Baby
the stash.
face. Baby face. How old do the people in the comments think he looks now? Let's see.
All right.
Shave the head, keep the stash.
It's too late.
I'm going to do a real shave now. Feel free to cut me off at any time. I have to do it. So maybe we can get started. I'll just be doing this in the background.
He's going smooth.
Well, while Ray is doing that, Berzin, why don't you talk about why you just shaved your head a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if Sam got the slides or not, but I kind of sent him in a little bit late. I'll show him on my phone. So pretty much there were a couple reasons. First, I'll probably share like my why ride, which the team unfortunately never got to hear really. My freshman year of high school was kind of a trying time because it was a really big transition for me. Mostly in like the extracurricular life because things started getting serious. And one of those activities that I loved to participate in high school was science fair. And so my first year of high school science fair was also my science fair sponsor's first year ever doing science fair. Her name was Farzana Sikora. And during that year, we kind of bashed heads at the start because I wanted to do things a certain way and she had different ideas. But nonetheless, she was like always a great sponsor and always a good, even better mentor, guiding me in the process and making sure that I did things the right way. And so I was really thankful to have her in the end. And that year, one of our other teammates, Malav, and I got to actually go to the highest level of science fair, which is the international level, to what they call ISEF. And that was her first experience there too. And so through that week-long event, we sort of connected and she became like a second mother to me, I guess, just like outside of the family, the immediate family. And even like my family connected with her and like we got to talk to her and she became like an extended member of our family. And so we grew really close with her. And so the same thing happened again sophomore year, but in Plano, our high school system is set up with the 2-year system. So junior year, I moved on to another high school and I had a different science fair sponsor. And so there you go, there's the slides. So that was our freshman year class, or actually our sophomore year class. Miss Sakura is there all the way on the right, and she was really healthy in the picture, and she was doing pretty well. But unfortunately, my junior year at the regional fair, I found out that Miss Sakura had actually been diagnosed with a late form of lung cancer. And though she's also very like private and doesn't like always like to talk about the details. I had known that it was bad enough because she had to step away from the job that she loves doing. That was teaching her kids about science. And she was also a chemistry teacher aside from our science fair sponsor. So as a result, she had to step away from the job for a little bit. But fortunately, in the fall of my senior year, she got to return as a substitute. And that was really bright and really good news for us because it meant that her condition was improving. And come spring of my senior year, she was actually on an experimental drug treatment down at MD Anderson that was doing really well. Unfortunately, though, when Corona started, and I don't know if it was a result of Corona because, again, she doesn't like to talk about the details, but as a result of that, the experimental drug stopped working or its progress was halted. For some reason, the tumor came back and started to grow again. So right now she's still fighting her fight and she's still battling it. But unfortunately, it seems that she's not in that state of remission that she was before and has to continue her fight. She's still alive and she's doing pretty well, but writing for her. And that was the first reason I decided to shave my head in solidarity with her. There was a couple of other photos I took with her when I got to visit her during her treatment, but of course she doesn't like to share like that side of her, so rather portray her in this memorable way. The second reason I decided to shave my head and go through with the whole process was part of this other organization I'm on in campus called Texas Blazers. And every semester, the new members of this organization create a service project that they do for the local Austin community as well as the UT Austin community. And so this project was predominantly focused on the janitors and other caretakers of our campus at the start of the semester. But when Corona occurred and we had to close down campus, there was an issue on how we could carry out this project. So what we decided to do instead was to support them because we realized that many of them had lost sources of their income because of shutdowns in other small businesses around Austin, as well as campus closures. And so what we created was our Dare to Care initiative, in which many of the new members executed various dares in exchange for funds to support the staff emergency fund. And I don't know who's controlling the slides, but if you want to toggle to the next one, this was the first stage of my dares. I started with a full head of hair. It was about like I think it was like 2 months worth of growing without a haircut. And the first dare was to bleach my hair blonde. It took about 2.5 bottles of bleach. And needless to say, it probably killed all my hair. But it was pretty good. The locks were flowing and I was ready to progress. The next slide will show my actual beginning of the shave. So I started with the Tiger King there on the left. My donors requested a proper mullet, and that was the best I could do. I really didn't know what I was doing. And then the reverse mohawk was next. And finally, the widow's peak, it was only natural that I progressed to the avatar state. And that was a really interesting experience because it looked so weird, just the stripe down my head. And then finally, someone wanted to see me do like a monk thing. I don't even know what I was going for there, but that was the image on the right. And then finally, what you see here is my bald head. The my ride group, the Sierra group, requested that I go full egg, so I also ended up shaving the beard too, which was a terrible mistake because I looked like a 12-year-old, but it is what it is. And it was quite an experience. Highly recommend it for the summer months. Thank you, Dal. But it was enjoyable, and honestly, like, I would probably do it again. I understand the importance of connecting with other people and understanding that they don't necessarily have a choice of when they get to shave their head or why they shave their head. And so I think that's also why I most relate with the pillar of hope. I think Philip phrased it best a couple meetings ago when we were still planning on going about the ride, but I think the one thing that Texas 4000 is always in the business of is spreading hope, no matter what. Like, knowledge and charity are always, not necessarily always there, but there's always ways to continue research and there's always ways to gain funds. But at the end of the day, the very core value of this organization is that of hope, because no matter what happens, like, funds can be cut off or research can be stopped or primarily or like halted for a little bit, but hope carries on with our own mentality. And so that's why I always ride for hope, and hope for Ms. Sikora, and hope for all those essential workers out there that are doing their best on the front lines right now, trying to fight off the disease, both corona as well as cancer. So yeah, that's why I was doing it.
Well, so inspiring, and it's really great that there are other organizations on UT's campus, like Texas Blazers, like just as passionate about like committing to like the COVID cause and like still doing, you know, philanthropy work and just great things amidst, you know, a trying time. So really great to hear.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm proud to be part of that organization as well.
Okay, so next we have Alex, who's already here, ready to go, hair braided. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. I just spent my arms are so tired from braiding my hair.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna look so amazing.
I look like an octopus. Yes, I'm very excited. It's gonna be something like I've never experienced before, which is exciting.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I agree completely with what you're saying. It's really such a cool experience. It's so little for us to do, but it really can mean a lot to people. I know, like, whenever I was a kid, I lost my mom to thanks, Aunt JoJo. I lost my mom to cancer, to brain tumor, and one of the like things I remember most is when my aunt shaved her head to make her, like, in solidarity, and it seemed like such like a simple but really powerful thing to do, and I always like remember that. It's really quite inspiring and really, really cool. I admired her for it. And it really is kind of a big deal. You don't really have any power over that. You don't have power over really anything in your, like, once you're diagnosed with cancer, you lose a lot of power. And so losing your hair can just be emblematic of that. And so it can feel like everything. And so to be able to do it with someone, I think, is really cool. It's powerful for them not to feel alone. And it's not for everyone, but I think that, at least for my mom, I think it was powerful. And so I'm doing this for her in her memory, as well as other powerful, wonderful women that I've had in my life that I've lost to cancer. My grandmother, Anne, in the top right corner there, sassy lady, and Miss Kathy, who largely raised me and my brother after my mom passed. She passed from ovarian cancer when I was in high school. And so I shave for them, and I'm really excited to get to do this. And yeah, so I'm going to get started. It's going to take a while. Truth, knowledge, queen. Yes, that's why I'm here. Okay, so I braided them so that, I know it's so much hair. I'm hoping I didn't take it too tight to my head. I wanted to be able to donate as much hair as I can, because I have a lot of hair. Oh.
Easy. Take your time.
It's going to be interesting. I'm going to have a lot of hair. I'm hoping I can make multiple wigs with this donation. That would be cool.
I'm sure.
Oh man, this is it's a lot of hair.
I know, and it really is. And I have
how many ponytails?
6 or 7. It might be 7.
Oh my goodness.
That's so awesome.
When's the last time you got it cut?
Okay, yeah. I've been like growing it out for the last year or two because I kind of knew I wanted to do this.
Nice.
And so I've been growing it out since the last spring. First one's off.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
How does that little patch feel up there at the top?
Very short. Oh my goodness. Very uneven. I'm using like craft scissors.
Nice.
Yes, I've been growing it out, and I really hate having long hair.
Oh, well, you're about to see the other end of the spectrum now.
Yes, excited to have nothing on my head.
From one extreme, super long, to the other, like completely bald.
Completely bald.
Love it. I'm
excited. Do you think those are long?
Alex, while you're doing this, do you want to talk about all of the research that you've been sharing with us at meetings and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So I am a giant nerd, and I'm going to MD Anderson, and I'll be attending McGovern Medical School this upcoming fall to pursue an MD.
So
PhD.
excited.
Me too. I'm finally getting excited about it. You know, when you finally accept that it's reality, that your dreams have come true. And so I'll be studying cancer biology, hopefully to work in research for the rest of my career. And I really want to work on glioblastoma, the cancer that my mom suffered from. And so I was known on the team as like the knowledge person because I would stand in front of our team almost every meeting and talk about cancer because I just couldn't stop myself. We had these presentations called Cancer Facts, and my favorite one I gave, I don't know if you guys remember this one, was on oncolytic viruses, which is what I hope to study, which is like a mouthful. It sounds like science jargon because it is. But what's really cool about them is it's like a therapy that can really target just the cancer, and that's like the most exciting thing in the cancer world right now, is trying to figure out how to not target any other cells, because like all the hair falling out, the like everything that we associate it with cancer, the reason we experience those symptoms when you undergo chemotherapy is because another big. Look how thick this one is too.
A big caterpillar.
Oh, I know. I'm hoping. Oh my gosh, look at the little tufts.
So I think I remember that presentation. The oncolytic viruses are like, they're live viruses that just attack the cancer cells, right? That's what you mean, they target them.
You remember?
I picked up on the basics at least.
That's so awesome. No, absolutely. They what's really cool about them is like it's a really elegant immunotherapy, like what Chris was talking about in that program's video. Is it totally just hijacks your immune system, and you can design these viruses to just go straight to the cancer, and so they don't go anywhere else. And one of the biggest problems with brain cancer, fun fact, is that it's really hard to get drugs into the brain, really, really hard. And so it's really hard to treat people, even specific, like at all. And thank you. That's so sweet. But what's amazing about these is that they go straight to the brain, and they work super well. And I got to talk to the person who invented them actually, and he was showing me these slides that he had of clinical results and like these compassion cases, people who had gone through every treatment. Got another one. And we're kind of at the end of the line and had nothing else. There was he showed me these scans of this massive brain tumor. And he used this treatment on her, and it worked. Her tumor went away with absolutely no other side effects. It's insane. And they're only like, I'd say a decade into this research, maybe half a decade. And so there's so much room. I know.
She might need some like garden shears at this rate.
I think I'm getting faster at it.
Yeah, you're marching through them.
Another one. Marching through.
Just
That's
be careful,
4
don't cut
down.
those headphones.
I know. That would be funny. Look at this. Woo!
Who is she?
Yeah. Who is she? There's a reason I put a lot of eyeshadow on today. But it's very cool. I'm glad you remember that. The analogy I gave was the heat-seeking missiles, right? Because they go right to the cell. Yeah, so cool. And that's like the future of cancer research. All we're doing right now is trying to figure out how to not hurt anything else in the body, not give any long-term side effects. It's so cool. So cool.
Yeah. I'm so excited to see all that you accomplish. Like that just I'm like waiting for the day that Alex Miller comes up on like Nature's top article.
Alex Miller will be a T4K cancer fact soon.
She really
will be the
She really
publisher
will.
that's cited in one of those slides.
I have no doubt. No doubt in my mind.
Oh my gosh, guys. Honestly, like being a part of this team, like the support, and like even that you would like listen to me give these talks is so sweet. It means so much.
Clara.
Oh, totally with the little like
with the little rat tail in the back, yeah.
Totally. Oh my god, I look like Anakin. Oh my god. Almost done. Okay. You can also, once I get these braids off, it can totally circle back to me. Oh my gosh.
You're doing awesome, Alex. So proud.
Getting an arm workout. Tony. Are you getting excited to shave, Tony?
Last but not least, I don't know. A little nervous.
Agree.
Man.
All right. Last one. My little Jedi
I love
tail.
how we can hear every hair that you're snipping through.
They're quite thick.
Those craft scissors they were well worth your money.
You know, they did their job. Wow.
All right.
Okay. I got most of it off. Here's all the hair I'm donating.
Nice.
Lots of hair.
Oh, love it.
Start shaving. But you're also welcome to like move on unless you want to see me shave.
I think we kind of want to see you go bald real quick. Yeah.
Let's do it.
At least like the basics.
Try my best. I've never used one before, so we'll see. We'll see.
Everybody else seemed to be okay.
Figure it out.
That's the term I use for my beard.
Really? It was the cheapest
Yes,
one.
ma'am. I'll go grab mine.
If you need a new one.
No, I'm good.
I don't have any other that I will be.
Oh man.
Well,
maybe just remove the cage and just go all out.
Oh, that's a good idea. Is that what Philip did? I bet.
Person with the expert insight.
Dang, Grayson, wait, I didn't realize
fake
that.
hair.
That's true though. She looks like you look like a little Captain Marvel over here.
Oh. That does make me feel great. Oh.
There you go.
Am I doing this the right direction?
Yep, there you go. Oh wait, let's see. Where's that line?
So hard to do without a mirror.
You look so good. 10
Hopefully I don't
pounds
have
of
a weird.
hair.
Honestly, hopefully I don't have a weird head shape.
I was worried about that too. You'll get used to it though after looking in the mirror a couple times.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
How do I look? Oh my gosh,
Beautiful.
that's like such a tight shave here.
Looking pretty stylish, honestly. This might be a new move.
It's unique.
It's unique. I feel like I probably need some more scissors right here. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun to clean up.
Oh yeah. I
I
hope
think
you're not
that's
on
so
carpet
good,
or
just
anything like that.
You what?
I said I hope you're not on carpet or anything.
No, luckily not. That would be the newbie move. Very. Oh my God, I have so much hair.
Ray, you better hop in on this, man. I'm seeing those flowing locks, and I think they need to go.
I think I should get out of here now before I get peer pressured into.
No. We always love the support.
Totally gave up the stash.
Annalena, I remember when you did this too. Bald is beautiful.
That was so good. That was so awesome.
I know. Well, while you're finishing this, why don't we have Ray come back on and do his little wire ride with his slides, and then we'll come and check in back on Alex.
All right, we can do that. What's up? Oh,
there they are.
Oh.
There we go. Should I go ahead or?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So I'm Ray. Just shaved my beard, look a lot younger. So myself. And gonna give a quick wire ride why I joined this organization. So I joined this organization for the beautiful lady on the left and her son, who I do not have a picture of up here. That is my great aunt on my mom's side. And her son, Mark, is also someone that I ride for. And so my great aunt, Evelyn, was diagnosed with breast cancer a few years ago. And I applied to Texas 4000 with her in mind and with her son, Mark, in mind, who battled Hodgkin's lymphoma. So my aunt Evelyn has been in remission. Actually, I'm not sure she's technically in remission, but she's doing great. She's doing really good, which is awesome. She lives in Belgium, and I really want to go over there to see them after we have some degree of public health safety. But her son, Mark, was my mom's good friend when they were in college 30-something years ago. And he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma after his junior year of college. And he fought for a few years, but unfortunately passed away. And he's been someone that my family's always remembered, and someone that I just feel so lucky to honor by being a part of this organization. So those two wonderful people were the reason why I applied. And then, so we got into T4K in, I want to say, October and November. And then December came around, and my dad was having some health issues. As you see on that picture on the left, that's me and him. I think that was my junior year of high school. So several years before what I'm about to talk about. So he was having some stomach issues, which he had before. He's kind of prone to this intestinal inflammation called diverticulitis, and he had it before. What wasn't a super big deal, but he did have to go to the hospital for this case. And it was myself, my sister, I have three older sisters, the sister who's closest to me in age, and my mom at the hospital. And we were there. My dad had to get a CT scan just so they could kind of see where the diverticulitis flare-up was. And on the scan, they saw something else, and they told my sister and I to leave the room. And so we were like, what's going on? And we went back in the room a few minutes later, and my parents don't show a ton of emotion, but they just told us straight up that they had found something on my dad's kidney on that CT scan. And it was just a shock to my sister and I, and obviously my mom and my dad. And we didn't know what it was at the time, but it was obvious that cancer was a potential finding with that mass on his kidney. And so we were just kind of we were in pieces for a few days. My dad stayed in the hospital because of the diverticulitis and had to get IV antibiotics. But my two older sisters flew in from where they live across the country, and this was I think on Christmas Eve. So we were all in the hospital together on Christmas Eve. Maybe it was December 26th. I think it was December 26th actually, and it was just a unifying moment for my family. We weren't sure what it was at the time, but we knew that it could have been something sinister. And we found out he got the mass removed, and we found out that it was renal cell carcinoma. And so he's been cancer free since they got rid of that mass in January of last year. And so we're just so thankful that he's currently cancer free, but we realize that it's a pretty nasty disease, and we're always on the lookout. But definitely so thankful for our doctors, our surgeons who got rid of the mass. But definitely a big reason why I'm a member of this organization is to continue to spread hope, knowledge, and charity in this fight, because you never know what's on the horizon. And it's also an honor to ride for my dad as a member of this organization. So that's why I ride.
Amazing. Thank you, Ray.
Definitely.
All right. Is Alex somewhere here still?
Oh, I guess she went for a mirror. Is it Tony's turn?
It is Tony's turn. Tony, how are you feeling?
I'm ready.
Oh, amazing. Yes.
Hey, Tony.
All right. Well, help me out. My roommate's here, Justin. He's gonna help me. Dave. All right. Are we getting started?
No, no.
Yeah. Let's get started.
This is really low.
The glorious locks.
It's really thick. We'll see how this razor holds up.
He's got a force to get through.
The flow is moving.
Oh, look at that. Oh, goodness. Inverse mode. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Thanks, Sashka. Love you. So, I shave for and ride for quite a few people that I've come to know. And one of them being my younger sister, Carly Ray. He was diagnosed with neuroblastoma at just a few years old. And look at this. Oh, God. It feels nice.
Looks like you've got a little bit of a widow's peak there, too.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful.
But yeah, so my younger sister passed away when she was going on to 7 years old, and from neuroblastoma. So as you can see in the picture there, she rocked a bald head really well. She had beautiful blue eyes, a really good smile. So I'm gonna rock the bald head for her. And then I also ride for some other people that donated to my cause for shaving. Peter and Marie Lynn, my really good friend, hometown friend, Alicia, her parents, her dad passed away from cancer, and her mom is a cancer survivor. So they donated and they support me, and they've been supporting me for a long time. So I'm shaving for them. And then, thanks, Dissy. How's it going? I also ride for my family, of course, my sister Lexi, and my parents. I guess we're having technical difficulties. But thanks, Jody. Yeah, I ride for my family. The picture there with my sister, my parents, and my other sister. We were at our Make-A-Wish trip in Disney World. And so I think we're eating sorbet there. But that's a lovely picture that I like to look back on. Carly was really happy in that picture, despite her bald head and her diagnosis. But all right. And then I also ride for pretty much my second and third set of parents. Dave and Jody, they're here in Austin. They moved before I came here to UT, so they were kind of like my parents waiting here when I got here, helped me through my time in college. But Jody's a breast cancer survivor, so I shave and ride for her. I think she's going on 11 years cancer-free, so congrats to her. And then I also ride for Frank and Kathy. They're really good family friends. I was born and they've been there, so they're kind of my three sets of parents. But yeah, I ride for beating childhood cancer. You know, there's a lot of kids out there that have to lose their hair to cancer at such a young age, and they have to grow up so quickly. And it's just something no one should ever go through, but especially children should not have to go through. So those names in the top right are children and families that have been infected by childhood cancer. The Seacoast family grew up just a couple doors down from me in my hometown, the Woodlands. And Christopher was diagnosed with leukemia and passed away when we were like in elementary school. He was my best friend. And unfortunately, that was a really sad loss and was a big impact on me. So, okay, we're going to try a second razor. But yeah, so I ride for the Seacoast family. I love y'all so much. Yeah. And I also ride for the Weberly family and Hans. Hans also was a childhood. How's it going? This one is a little too close? Too close, yeah. So well, is this one not going to work? Yeah.
It went through so much hair right at the beginning that it got dull like instantly. And everything's getting stuck
He's got the backups ready.
This hurts. I only got a razor for it. Anyways, but yeah, so I ride for the Weberly family. Hans, he grew up in the neighborhood just down from me, and he's a childhood. He had childhood cancer and unfortunately passed away. Their family was, we're gonna, yeah. So they were very supportive. My sister and Hans went through treatment together, and he also had neuroblastoma. So it was really lovely to see Hans and Carly fight together against this disease. Unfortunately, they both passed away, but I know they fought really hard and they were inspiration to our families. So I love them very much. I ride for Lizzie. You know, she's a young adult that and was diagnosed as a child, as a teenager, and you know, no one should have to go through that. And so I ride for her, and I ride for Ryan and Courtney and Patrick, who are all also childhood cancer patients who fought alongside my sister, and we got to know for various reasons at the hospital, you know, during treatment or at some camps that we went to for families affected by cancer. So yeah, I shave for Indian childhood cancer. And well, I partially shave, hopefully finish eventually.
It's too thick.
It's kind of like a anticlimactic ending, but let's try it again.
He's got it.
On the bottom better too. There we go.
It just gets stuck in there.
Where'd you get your razors from? I feel like I got mine from the wrong place. How's it looking?
Amazing. Beautiful.
It's still mostly hair.
Still a handsome man.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. I look like a mad scientist. Yeah. Thanks for all the support, y'all.
Always, Tony, always.
Yeah, we can. We'll move on to Ali and here in a couple minutes, and I'll try to get some more hair off my head.
All right, sounds good. So our last shavee is Allie, our Rockies ride director. She actually just decided today, this morning really, that she wanted to cut her hair. Hopefully the shavees today inspired you to do it. So yeah, she'll just talk.
Yeah, so it's a little anticlimactic. I only have scissors with me. I'm in the hill country, so my internet's also a little bad. But that being said, so like Lisa said, my name is Allie. I'm the Rockies ride director. And so I didn't put slides together because, like I said, I think I texted her like 10 minutes before this was supposed to go live. Like, wait, I think I'm gonna come here. So I ride for one of my campers, and she was also. Wait, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I ride for one of my campers, and she was also my classmate. Her name is Rachel Grant. She passed away from leukemia my sophomore year of college. And I ride for the special needs community because people with Down syndrome are actually more likely to get leukemia than others. And so within a few weeks after her passing, my grandpa, who was the father figure in my life, he was diagnosed with throat cancer. And so that was a really difficult summer for me. Luckily, he had his surgery and they got all of it in the first try, which at his age, and it was just like, it was really fortunate. And so this is actually going to be my second time in my life where I've grown out my hair and I'm cutting it. So I'm really excited to do it again. The first time was at a salon, and now I have some medical scissors. I have backups too, and we're gonna cut my hair. Also,
I hope this will be enough.
Do it like out without one. We will see. Okay. Oh, I think it fell a little bit. Okay. Oh, they're cut really well.
Nice. Nice.
Oh my goodness. Wait, I missed a little bit of it. There's one ponytail.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And then this is very uneven, but it's okay. No one's going to see me anyway. Okay. Oh my goodness.
It's the quarantine cut.
And here's the second one. I really love how lopsided this is.
Nice.
But I did it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Amazing. Well, thanks for deciding to join last minute. We absolutely loved it.
Thank you for having me. I feel so light and free. And I'm excited to donate these now. But yeah.
Awesome.
Good job. Good job.
Tony, are you almost done?
Yeah. It looks a lot
Honestly,
shorter,
don't know what I'm
Tony.
doing at this point.
Got you there.
I'm just going for it. Oh, did you good? I feel like it looks decent. A little uneven.
Just a little bit. Might have to go in and finish afterwards.
It looks great.
Honestly, though, I think I rock the short hair better than I would have expected. I haven't had a short hair.
You rock
Like a
you rock
child.
any style. You know that.
Oh, thanks, Brittany. Okay, well.
Oh my goodness, Alex!
Alex!
Oh, there's Alex.
Well, that took forever. I'm still not quite done.
How does it feel?
Oh, so good.
I know. You're not going to stop rubbing for a little bit.
That feels so good. Yeah, Tony.
Tony's getting at it.
I feel like my hair was an awkward length. It wasn't long enough to do ponytails first, but it wasn't short enough to just like.
Still kind of
Slowly
difficult to
but
like
surely.
chop it off.
Yeah.
I found getting it wet makes it easier. and shaving cream.
Anything coming off?
Dang. It's such a transformation for you, man.
I know.
Austin is what and Alex. Alex looks beautiful.
Aw. So you, Tony.
I don't think it's really working. I think it's gonna be amazing. I'll walk to CVS like this.
Honestly, get it wet, put some shaving cream on there.
Anyways.
Yep.
I shave for
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Share for you all, my 2020 team, all my supporters. I love y'all.
Love you too, brother.
Oh, love you too. Y'all look so great. I'm so overjoyed with everyone who participated. It literally warms my heart so much. But gosh,
this is amazing.
Y'all are such an inspiration. Honestly, you're like inspiring me. I might do it like later this week and film myself.
Good, yeah.
That would be awesome. If you want a live a witness, let me know.
Oh, thanks, Dad. Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my mom who helped come up with the name for Clip Out Cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Nice.
Creative, yeah.
That's a good play on words with the biking stuff too.
I know. Hopefully everyone got it.
She actually came up with like
20
names, like 20 amazing names for Clip Out Cancer, and we voted, and this one, it was just perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Absolutely, yeah.
So.
And the graphic was beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, good job, James.
Mm-hmm.
Our incredible NPR team has just been working so hard for the entire alternate ride, but when I saw the Clip Out Cancer graphic a couple of days ago, I almost teared up. I was like, this is exactly what I wanted. It was beautiful, literally perfect. So, yes, Andrea, I think she just sums it up really well. Where everyone looks so amazing, so good. It's really great what we're doing. Yes.
Always happy to hear from him.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Scott?
Good to see you all. Looks like my camera is a little out of whack there for some reason.
It's all good. You're still looking good. Don't worry.
What amazing transformations on the exterior. On the interior, still the same wonderful people you've always been. Thank you so much, Delisa, for leading the charge here today, and Tony and Alex, just getting everything with your team organized for the presentation, and for your teammates who recorded the program presentation. What great information on cancer awareness and prevention to share with everybody across the country. You guys did an amazing job. And to David and Austin and Philip and Berzin and Ray, Alex, Tony, everybody for shaving your heads and sharing, and Allie jumping in there spontaneously on day of as the group. Just thank you to all of you for taking it on and sharing and talking about Be the Match, which is so important. And I know as we go through the 4 weeks, you're going to talk about other organizations and stuff that we work with as well, and get to talk with other organizations in the communities that are across the 3 routes that we support with grant funding. There's so much going on over the next 4 weeks, and I just want to implore everybody that's watching now to not only come back again to share ride dedications with daily ride dedications, to join you cycling as you do the virtual cycling, both indoors and outdoors. If you're going to be outdoors cycling, use the hashtags and support your team. I'd love for people to do that and for them to share that far and wide within all of the people that they know. And lastly, again, tune in for these cancer awareness and prevention presentations. They're so important, getting that word out to everybody. And it's the things that people have complete control over to do, wearing sunscreen, not smoking, doing preventative care, and getting checked out. It can make all the difference in the world in keeping cancer out of your life and out of the lives of your loved ones.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who's also watching the live stream right now and offering their support, the comments and everything. Could not do it without y'all.
Yeah, I'm reading all the comments from everyone, from all of our teammates, family, friends. every single one of them. Always so supportive.
So joy to have such a great supportive team, as well as supportive alumni. So many alumni in here, and 2021. Just really, we're all pulling together to make this happen, and it's really great to see it.
Well, we're coming to a close. A little more than now, adding this couple hours on, it's 26 hours that you guys have been at this, and what a way to kick off 4 weeks virtually. And to, you know, as Chris said in his message to all of you, you know, this is your legacy. No other team, none of the 16 before have done anything like this to touch so many lives. And I just can't thank you guys enough, again, for your resiliency, your dedication to a mission of fighting cancer.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to continue the ride despite all of it, Scott.
It is our pleasure. And again, we'll implore everybody to continue to tune in. Then go to texas4000.org to see the broadcast schedule. They can see the past broadcasts, which will be up on the window there, or watch the live one. So it's a one-stop shop to keep in contact with all you. They can donate to support your team in the fight against cancer. Sign up to be part of your Strava club, or join you on a Zwift ride, to join in with the Zoom calls for any of the events that are going on. So I implore everybody again to go to texas4000.org, get merch there. You can buy these wonderful jerseys that the team are wearing as well to help support the fight against cancer. So just again, thank you to everybody. Thank you to your team, to everybody that put so much time and effort. I know we all did so much in a few weeks to make this come together. And just again, thank you all. I can't wait to watch the rest of the broadcast.
Awesome. Well,
thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
See y'all later.
All right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll look for you next time.
Yes.